What if I told you that our database was lying to us by 96%? And what if I told you that Claude AI caught it in less than 2 minutes without a single line of code from a developer? So I asked Claude a simple question. How much did I pay in Amazon removal fees last month? And the database screamed back $32,027.44. And that's over $32,000. But here's where it gets crazy. Claude didn't believe it, and what happened next will blow your mind. All right, my name is Nandin. I'm with Seller Labs. I've sold over $80 million on Amazon since 2012, and we're building tools for Amazon sellers by Amazon sellers. If you like this, click like and subscribe to our channel for more news and insights on how to become a better Amazon seller. All right, so picture this. Let me see. I connect our Amazon database to Claude through our MCP server, the Seller Labs MCP server. And the MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It's basically a way for AI to talk directly with your database. So I asked Claude, how much removal fee did I get charged last month? And Claude does what a good analyst would do. It goes straight to the FBA removal table and the FBA removal order details in particular. And that makes sense, right? So, and then it came back with $32,000 in removal fees. And this was across 3,400, over 3,400 removal orders. Now, most software would stop there. Job done. Question answered, right? But what happens next is what makes Claude stand out from the rest. So I pushed back. I said, that's too much. That's too much removal orders. And I said, that seems like an excessive amount of removal fees. I didn't recall 3,400 removal orders last month. Can you look again? So I knew that was the wrong number. I just didn't know why it was the wrong number. So Claude started looking into it and started getting skeptical, right? So it looks, okay, Claude thinks maybe I'm double counting somewhere. So what it does is it looks for distinct orders. So this is what it did. Look for distinct orders. And then it came back and the results, it wasn't 3,400 orders, right? But it was 25 orders. That's what it came back with. 25 distinct removal orders. But the total was still the same, over $32,000. That means that it's about $1,281 per order. And in particular, it broke down there were two orders that Claude said that I was charged $11,000 for 39 items and another for $11,000 for 600 items. So I pushed back again. That doesn't seem right. The removal fee is too high. So again, most system by this time would give up, and even the analysts, most of them would say, well, that's what the data says, because that's what's the data in the table. But Claude had an epiphany. So this was where the breakthrough happened. So Claude went into detective mode and started looking around. So we have over 50 tables in the Amazon table, right? So this is the Amazon data, and there's over 50 tables. So Claude started looking around at all the tables. And I want you to pay attention to the logic here, because this is gold. So Claude realizes something crucial. There's a difference between what you ordered and what you were charged. So there's order data and then there's financial data. So the order data was the removal orders, but what you were actually charged was a financial order. So it started looking around some more to see where can it find financial data, because it realized that the FBA removal order was actually an operational order. So it says, but you're asking for fees. That's financial data. So that's the realization it made right there. So Claude does something really smart, like brilliant. It doesn't just blindly query all the tables. It thinks through the tables with purpose. Again, like I said, there's over 50 tables. There's ads, keywords, traffic, a bunch of other tables. So, but it queries all the tables and it starts narrowing it down. So it looks again at the FEA removal order, and then this is the logic it used. The removal request we already went through, and then it looked at the settlements. We'll skip the transactions for now. But the settlements, it says they were payment summaries and they were too aggregated. And then it looked at the orders, which is what customer orders, not fees. And then it looked for like storage fees, which were storage charges, not all the charges. So that's why it settled on the financial records of transactions. But the thing is, it doesn't know if transaction has the removal fees at all. So it starts getting creative. Instead of just guessing the exact field name in order to find the right fees, it uses pattern matching. So as you can see here, it's walking through its logic, and it's looking for patterns of the column called type in the transaction that has the keyword called removal, lowercase or uppercase, removal order. So that's the logic it used to find if there's removal orders in transactions or not. So like here in logic, it said it didn't assume that the exact type of fee type. It used the pattern matching, and then it found there were two things that have the removal order or the word removal in it. Let me show you. So the results came back with that matching. It says there's FEA removal fee, and then there's removal order loss. It was smart enough to know to go with the FEA removal fees. And so that's what it did. It found the FEA removal fees, and then it used that to query the exact data. It even has a mental model for the logic, because I asked how did it know to go to the transaction table, and this is what it spit out. It says, here's a mental model. It says, how much did I get charged? That's the question. And then so it knows that you need a billing data, financial data, not operational data. And so it looks for tables that track money movement. So the candidates were the transactions, as we've gone through, which has the amount, settlement ID, and type, and then use the match, pattern match to find the FEA removal fee type, and then it summed up all the transactions that had that keyword FEA removal fee in it. Then that's when it got to the answer. So the answer is $675.01, and I double checked that, and that is the correct amount across 151 transactions. So what happened was, basically, Claude found that the answer was off by 96%. So what happened was the FEA removal order fee, the FEA removal order detail table was showing a log. Basically, we were logging every time we download the data. We were just logging as rows, and we're working on that fix. But it realized that the transaction table was tied to the actual settlements, or the source of truth, because that's when the money actually got charged through our account by Amazon. So that was a brilliant move on Claude. So just let's recap just what just happened. Basically, without writing a single line of code, Claude questioned the suspicious data. One, understood the difference between the operational and financial records, and used pattern matching to discover the right transaction type, and then it found the authoritative source of truth and corrected a 96% error. So this is what separates AI-powered analytics from database queries. Claude didn't just fetch the data, it reasoned about which data to trust. Think about what you just saw. This blew my mind, because this is a next level up in data analytics from on Amazon, because Claude just replaced both a developer to write the SQL query and a data analyst to find the right table and make sure the data is right. And you don't even need SQL data knowledge, just a simple question in plain English. So if you want to learn more about how the Amazon MCP and a Connect Claude, try it out, connecting Claude to your Amazon data, visit our website, www.sellerlabs.com/Amazon MCP for more details on Seller Labs Amazon MCP. And I will see you next time.